Hey guys, today is almost my 1-year anniversary here on BookTube, so I thought it was a good time maybe just to kind of like go over a couple pros and cons of this last year, as well as recap on my 2020 bookish goals and share my 2021 bookish goals, all while drinking my favorite tea. I currently only like one tea, which I don't think makes me a proper bookish person, but I'm trying to remedy that. Anyway, this is Celestial Seasonings, I think is the brand, Wild Berry Zinger. Pretty much it just tastes like juice, like warm juice. But I'm going to try a couple more this winter, like I do every winter, and maybe eventually I'll like something else. Okay, so 1 year on BookTube. I totally just started this for fun last year, and it's been a pretty cool, wild ride. I have over 2,000 subscribers. Something I was just in it for the community. I started watching some BookTube around November of last year, and I'm the kind of person that I can't just like sit and watch and, I mean, comment, but I wanted to like have a conversation with the community more than you can that way, so I wanted to start a channel, and yeah, 1 year later, here I am. I have read a lot more books this last year, thanks to BookTube, than I have since high school. Now, university a few years ago, like, totally killed my love for reading for a number of years, but this last year BookTube has spiraled that, and last count I think I was at over 160 books read so far this year, and there's a couple weeks left, so that's a lot of books. Maybe like a con of BookTube. I don't think you can really call it a con, because I mean, if I wasn't making these videos I would have more time to read, but I mean, it's making these videos that gives me motivation to read more, so would I actually read more? I don't know. BookTube takes time. Maybe that's a con. I don't know. I am enjoying it. Obviously, I don't have a whole lot for cons, but the pros are all the reading, the community. You guys are amazing. I've been having so much fun, both watching people that are on BookTube and responding to comments, and I've just been having a grand old time this last year. My parents at least watch some of my videos or something. I don't know. My dad says he likes every single one. And honestly, if they had known, you know, like when I was a teenager, or if I had known that this would be a thing and I could make a little bit of money, like, you know, a very little bit of money here on YouTube, I'm like getting paid to read. This is like my childhood dream come true. Okay, so I made a couple bookish goals last year. A couple of them were geared towards reading, a couple of them were geared towards BookTube. I'm just gonna like quickly breeze through these and tell you how I did. So my first goal was to finish the Read Your Bookshelf challenge. I created this challenge where there's 12 different prompts, one for every month of the year, and I'm making another one. The 2021 Read Your Bookshelf challenge will be announced soon. I know some people have been asking. So I read, okay, did I complete this challenge? I don't know. I definitely tried. There were a couple of months where I did not finish the book that I chose. I always had good intentions. There were a couple of books that were just not my cup of tea. I know the 1 month, the prompt was to read the book that has been on your unread shelf the longest, and my book was Great Expectations. Me and Dickens, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to keep trying his books, but like, I did not finish that book. I couldn't get through it. So I'm still marking this challenge, like this goal, as done, because I tried, And even though I didn't read all of that Dickens book, it got it off my unread shelf because I unhauled it. So it still works in my opinion. The second goal I had was to read more books that I own than library books. And I did start a tally at the beginning of the year, and then COVID hit and my library shut down. So, I mean, in the last like 2 or 3 months, I've been getting more library books and reading more library books, but there was months where I only read my own books. So I definitely like breezed through this challenge. I'm not going to make this challenge again because I've been having a lot of fun reading library books lately. So I'm not going to do that for 2021, but it was a good challenge for 2020 and it worked out well. Then my third goal was to read a tome, which I considered a book that was 500 pages or more, to read one each month. I definitely know there was a month or two where I did not read a 500 plus page book, but there were a couple months where I read a couple of them. So I maybe didn't complete it for every month of the year, but I read more than 12. So I don't know, I'm counting that one as done too. I mean, they're my goals. I get to say if they're done or not, right? It's close enough. I wanted to make sure that BookTube and like I didn't feel pressure to like read lots of books and then just gravitate towards short books. So I feel like I accomplished that. I still read quite a few big books. My fourth goal was to read 12 middle grade books. I think I had completed this by the end of March. March was middle grade March, and I only read middle grade that month to my knowledge. And I had already read, I think like 4 or 5 middle grade books before that, and then read probably a dozen that month. So I definitely completed this challenge. My fifth goal was to finish Harry Potter, and I did. I think I finished it, I think it was in February. Maybe March? No, it must have been February. So yeah, finished that one. And then, yes, this is my last goal. My last goal was to post at least one video a week on BookTube. And I did that. I, to my knowledge, did not skip a week. I eventually upped it to 2 videos a week, went to 3 videos for a while, and back down to 2 right now. I don't know where I'm going to keep it. I'm having a lot of fun with making videos, but I also don't want to overwhelm people. So maybe a little bit more about that in my 2021 goals, which I'm going to talk about right away after this break of tea. Also, this mug is like giant. I like my tea strong, so my tea only comes out to like a third of the way through. Now, I had a lot of fun making my 2021 bookish goals. I feel like I learned a lot this last year on my reading preferences and kind of figured out a few things that I don't want to do in future goals. And so I made a list. Also, how cool is my tablet cover? I really like, I'm always gravitating towards like things that are light pinkish or like floral, which, I mean, I grew up as a total tomboy, so that's really weird, but that is what I gravitate towards. Okay, so I'm going to separate this into 2 sections. I have like my reading goals and then I have my BookTube goals. So we're gonna jump right in with my reading goals. My first reading goal is to read at least 5 classics. Originally I was thinking of doing 12 and then I decided, no, you know what, I'm gonna do 5. And then if some of them take me multiple months to get through, because there's a couple on here that are a bit longer, then I'll just be okay with that. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 that people kind of mentioned that I should prioritize based off of what is on my unread shelf for my classics. And so I'm gonna quickly grab those. Okay, so I have 5 here. No, I can't count. I have 6 here. And then I actually bought 2 more. So I just barely bought a Father Brown collection that I want to read and a Shirley Jackson collection. I think it was unpublished works. So I want to read both of those. And then tons of people said I have to read Anna Karenina. So, I mean, this one is, yeah, 900 pages long. This is why I am only going to do 5. So I have to kind of pick. I'm assuming the 5 will be from this stack, but they might not be. There's also The Old Curiosity Shop by Dickens. Dickens. I want to try more of his stuff. This one is only 550-ish pages. Not terrible. Then I have The Lost World by Arthur Conan Doyle. I was supposed to read this in November. I just wasn't really that interested. I got like 1 chapter done. But I hear it's good, so I'll try it again. Then I have The King's General. This one is by Daphne du Maurier. I've never heard anything about this book, but I read Rebecca at the beginning of the year, and like I haven't stopped thinking about that book. So I want to try another one of hers. And I just found this really old copy at a thrift store and knew I had to grab it. Then I have Uncle Tom's Cabin. This is another one that I started to read a couple years ago in my classics book club, and I was really struggling with a lot of it. But I hear it's amazing, and so I just need to get through. I was listening to it on audio, and there is a lot of like old slave language, and it was hard to understand what they were saying. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take this one slower. I hear the ending is amazing, so just need to press on. And then my other one here is massive as well. I just want to read at least one C.S. Lewis book. This one has tons. This has Mere Christianity, The Screwtape Letters, which I've read, Miracles, The Great Divorce, The Problem of Pain, Grief Observed, The Abolition of Man, and The Four Loves. I don't know if I'll read one of these ones, but it'd be nice to read another Lewis. So hopefully I can get like 5 of these books done this year. Okay, this might have been one of my birthday goals, but one of my goals this year is to buy less books. I definitely bought quite a few this year. I didn't really realize how much, the library shutting down would make me need to / want to buy all the books. So I kind of have like stipulations for myself. I'm going to try to stick to authors that I've either read before, books that I read and loved, or if I like go thrifting, I want to like at least read the first page of the book maybe just to get the general vibe and if I'm going to like it. So I kind of want to be a little bit more careful with the books I buy this year, because there was a decent amount, I would say, this year that I bought that I read and didn't really enjoy that I ended up like getting rid of. Then I want to read 12 nonfiction books this year. I used to read pretty much just nonfiction, and it kind of took a back burner this last year. I did mention in my favorite Christian nonfiction books some of my hesitancy with reading nonfiction these days, but I'm going to try for 12. That would work out to one a month, but I'm not going to pigeonhole myself into like having to read one a month. Maybe I'll read 2 or 3 one month, maybe I'll take a break, but I want to read at least 12 nonfiction books. And then another reading goal of mine is to read less books. So I'm kind of thinking of aiming towards 100 books, but I'm not going to like stop myself. I just want to make sure I don't feel like I have to like beat however many books I read so far this year. Like I don't want this to be a competition. I just want to read because I enjoy it. And I mean, it's good to push yourself, but I don't want to read more than I'd read this year already. And then my last like actual reading goal is to work towards finishing some of the series that I started. So I did a video on this, and I would ideally like to like make my way, farther along, or finishing 10 of the series that I talked about, or 10 books in those series. We'll see if it actually happens. But I used to be the kind of person that I would just start a series and completely finish it, and that hasn't happened. Partly because I picked TBRs, and the next book's not always on my TBR, and partly just because I haven't really felt like reading that way. But I would like to kind of not leave a bunch of series like open and just hanging. Okay, now I have like some BookTube specific goals, and I'm really excited about them. So if you are on my email newsletter, I think like 2 weeks ago now, you would have gotten an email, and you should have seen this on the community tab if you're subscribed to me. But I did start a Patreon. Now I hummed and hawed over this for a long time because I don't feel like I have a ton of subscribers to start a Patreon. I'm not expecting a ton of people to hop on there, but I just needed a place because I've been feeling so creative, and I just needed a place to like funnel all this creative energy. So I've been posting like extra videos and what I've been reading each week, and reading challenges and all sorts of fun reading stuff, and I'm just loving it. I'm thinking about like upping what I said I was going to include in there because I'm just having a lot of fun with it. So I want to continue that, even, even if it's just me there and no one else joins in, at least it's a place for me just to like funnel all that energy. And I feel like then too, I'm probably not going to post on Instagram anymore. I just like have one spot for all my bookish stuff. Another BookTube goal of mine is, I'm going to aim high here. I would like to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of next year. Is that insane? Maybe, but I didn't think I would be as high as I am now this year. I thought about just making it like 5,000 subscribers, but like no, you go big or you go home. So my goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers. I don't really know how I'm going to do that because I haven't been gaining a ton at a time here. But hey, just going lofty, I guess. I'm not sure if this is like a specific goal, but one thing I would like to do is share more videos sharing my favorite books in specific genres. I don't really read like just 2 or 3 different genres. I feel like I have a variety, and I want to share like my favorite, I don't know, top 5 or 10 books in each genre in like the next few months. So look for those coming soon. A goal that I have that definitely scares me a bit is to host a live video. I recently joined in with Krista from Books and Jams. She was doing a like chatty read with me video. I've seen people do these. I've never joined in before, and I did for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I had a blast. And I was like, this would be fun to host. So I would like to either do something like that or maybe like some kind of book club. I'm not really sure. I'm a little worried because technology can be kind of iffy sometimes. You know, if you say you're going to do it live and it doesn't work out. I'm also worried because, you know, kids. But I think it would be a lot of fun. So this is going to be a goal of mine to do at least one live video, and I have a whole year to figure it out. So hopefully I can do that. And then my last BookTube specific goal is to start posting reading vlogs again. So at least once a month I'm aiming for. A subscriber commented a little while ago and said, mentioned doing like themed reading vlogs, and I've done a little bit like that, but I'm gonna take this and kind of like up it. I'm going to be like sharing different, you know, if I'm reading a book on a specific subject, you know, bake a treat that relates to it, or do an activity that relates to it, and just kind of make it like a whole fun themed weekend or a couple days kind of reading vlog. And there you have it. That's kind of a summary of my goals from this last year, my goals going forward. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. I've had a lot of fun this last year. One thing I would like to do in the next month-ish is do a Q&A video, just random like bookish or non-bookish things. So if you have any questions that you would like me to answer in that video, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys.